What's up, motherfucker?
Hold on, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
People that are in those training rooms with him know how good
Because he just knocks dudes out real quick in the first round.
Yeah, but now we're gonna get a good. I might fuck with this guy. He just, to me, I thought he was a con artist.
No,
just based off his look.
They're at edge. Holy shit! What the hell just happened?
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. Got a pretty good slate of games today. We'll break down. We'll talk some NBA. Got some NIT, college basketball. We'll take a look ahead at the NCAA Final Four this Saturday. I think there's some hockey tonight. So we'll got a few things to talk about today. First off, got a big announcement. Starting tomorrow, Easy Money, a sports betting show, will now be airing at 3 p.m. Eastern. New start time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Also, with that time change, Easy Money, a sports betting show, will also be airing live on All Sports, All Plays, ASAP Sports Network. It'll be airing on their Facebook, their YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff as well. It'll still be airing on all the Gonzo Sports Room channels, so none of that changes. The only thing that changes is it'll now be airing on their sports network as well, and it's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. And then we have another time change on our sports talk show, GSR Gonzo Sports Room. For now on, GSR Gonzo Sports Room is going to move to 11 p.m. Eastern time. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern time for GSR Gonzo Sports Room. Easy Money, 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and it's also going to be available on the ASAP Sports Network, All Sports, All Plays. Go check them out. They have a great thing going on over there, and I'm glad to be part of it. Check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we post everything about our shows, our daily picks from Easy Money, a sports betting show, to show information, interview announcements, all that stuff gets posted on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. We also have a pro wrestling podcast, GWR Gonzo's Wrestling Room. New episodes of it drop every Sunday at 9 a.m. You can find it on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, all at Gonzo's Wrestling Room, or you can find the video version of it on our YouTube page at Gonzo Sports Room. While you're over on that YouTube page, please hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate that as well. If you're watching this on Facebook or Twitch, please hit the like and follow buttons, hit the share buttons, tell a friend about us. We appreciate the support. Check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Sports/merch. You can see some of our t-shirts here behind me. We have hats, hoodies, a lot of different things on there. So go get you some GWR, GSR, and Easy Money gear today. For all you GWR fans, I will have some shirts on hand. If you live around the Muncie, Indiana area and would like to get one, get with me. Get with me, and I will be able to get one to you. All right. Well, let's jump right into today's slate of games here, shall we? All right. First game we have today, we'll start in the NBA. First game we have is the Milwaukee Bucks at the Philadelphia Sixers. This should be a good game. Two of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, and not two of the better teams, not just in the Eastern Conference, but in all of the NBA, I should say. They are two of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. The Sixers are 1.5-point favorites at home in this game. They are minus 120 on the money line. The Bucks are plus 102 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 232.5. The Bucks are 46-28 on the season. They're coming off a loss to the Grizzlies on Saturday night. The Grizzlies are a good team, so there's really no shame in losing to them. The Bucks are 8-3 ATS their last 11 games. Giannis is they're led by Giannis at 30 points per game and 12 rebounds a game, and the Bucks are averaging 115 points per game. Bucks are a good team. I think the Bucks are missing that grit that they had last year. I think they're missing PJ Tucker. They're still a real good team, and they're going to go far. I just don't know if they're going to have that to get over the hump against the West without having that guy that done the dirty work in PJ Tucker. So I think the Bucks are going to end up missing him, but the Bucks are still a damn good team. The Sixers are 46-28. These teams have the same damn record. They're coming off a loss to the Suns on Sunday. Embiid, they're led by Embiid at 30 points per game and 11 rebounds per game. So Giannis and Embiid's numbers are almost identical. Sixers average 109 points per game. James Harden has been averaging, I think, around 22, 23 points a game since he got to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a good team. I still think they're missing some on the defensive end. I think I heard them getting rid of Seth Curry. Now they're relying a lot more on Tobias Harris and some of them guys. I think it hurt them when they got rid of Seth Curry and Drummond in that trade, but it did help them getting hard. And I just think they're don't have as much depth on that bench. I like the Bucks in this game. At the plus 1.5, or actually at the plus 102 on the money line. So I think the Bucks win this game. Over under for this game's at 232.5. I would say the under the 232.5. Both these teams would have to score above their average for this to go to the over. And I don't see that happening. Both these teams play decent defense. It isn't like these two have no defense. So I'd look for this game to be under 232.5. And I like the Milwaukee Bucks at the plus 102 on the money line. Next game we have the Chicago Bulls at the Washington Wizards. The Bulls are 3.5-point favorites in this game. They are minus 164 on the money line. The Wizards are plus 138 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 222.5. The Bulls are 43-32 on the season. This is a second game of a back-to-back for the Bulls. They lost to the Knicks last night. They are 3-11 ATS their last 14. The Bulls have been struggling here as of late. And honestly, if you look, their record can kind of fool you. If you look at their whole season, They have not. They've beat the teams that they should beat. They beat the teams lower than them, but they've only won like 2 or 3 games against teams that are going to be in the playoffs. So they have not played well against the better teams in the league. I think a lot of people forget about that. The Bulls have not played. The Bulls have struggled against all the teams in the playoffs. They're like I'd have to look it up again. 3 for 16 or 3 for 20 or something like that against teams that would be in the playoffs this year. The Wizards are not a good team at all, though. The Bulls should win this game. Wizards are 32-42 on the season. They're 4-1 ATS their last 5 home games, but they've had injuries. They're led by Bradley Beal, but they're just not a very good basketball team right now. The Bulls should win this game. I like the Bulls at the on the money line at the -164. Then you have a game. This is an important game in the West. Well, important for the Lakers, I should say. You have the Los Angeles Lakers at the Dallas Mavericks in your next game. The Mavericks are 11.5-point favorites at home. They are -700 on the money line. The Lakers are +500 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 219.5. Lakers are 31-43 on the season, and they're on the verge of missing the playoffs this year. Right now, they're tied with the San Antonio Spurs for the last spot in the play-in for that 10th spot. Well, actually, I think they're one game ahead of the Lakers or of the Spurs in the loss column. They both have the same amount of wins, but if they tie, the Spurs has the tiebreaker. So the Lakers are going to have to win probably 6 or 7 of these last 10 games here if they want to make the play-in. And to compound that, LeBron James is doubtful tonight after spraining his ankle last game. After the game, he said his ankle felt like shit. Said that he stayed in because he knew how important the game is. He's doubtful for tonight. I don't see the Lakers beating the Mavericks tonight without LeBron. They would have a tough time beating the Mavericks with LeBron. Anthony Davis did start practice yesterday. I guess that was his first practice, so he'll be back soon. So the Lakers will probably be without both of them tonight since LeBron James is doubtful. The Lakers are 2-7 ATS their last 9 road games. They're 2-6 their last 8. Like I said, they're tied for 10th or just barely ahead of the Spurs right there for the 10th spot in the West. I don't think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs this year. I just don't see them winning 6 or 7 of these last 10 games, especially if they have guys hurt. And who knows how bad LeBron's ankle is sprained. A sprained ankle, hell, he could go right out there and just aggravate it more. But they say LeBron's doubtful for tonight. The Mavericks are 46-29 on the season. They're 4th in the West, and they are 4-1 ATS their last 5 home games. Of course, they're led by Luka. I see the Mavs winning this game tonight, but I'm not giving up 11.5 points. Even with LeBron out, I think the Mavs are going to beat the Lakers, and I think they put it on pretty good. But 11.5 points is a lot of points in the NBA game, especially because if they get a big lead, they'll start playing their backups and stuff. But I do like the under the 219.5 in this game. All right, next game we have tonight. The Detroit Pistons at the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets are 13.5-point favorites at home, -1100 on the money line. The Pistons are +700 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 234. The Pistons just aren't a very good basketball team. They're 20-55 on the season, 2-8 their last 10 games, 8-0 ATS their last 8 road games. So they have been covering the spread on the road, even though they've been losing. The Nets are at home, and Kyrie Irving does get to play. I think this will be his second game getting to play at home after the mandate had got lifted. The Nets are 7-3 their last 10 games. They're coming off loss to the Hornets on Sunday, where the Nets defense has to get better. If the Nets are going to go on a run in the playoffs and possibly win a championship, their defense is going to have to get better. I think when Ben Simmons comes back, which I still believe Simmons is going to be available for the playoffs, that's really going to help. That's going to help their defense a lot. But that's the one thing that worries me about the Nets is their defense. They have plenty of depth. I mean, you have KD, you have Kyrie, Seth Curry's been balling. If you get Simmons back, Maxi's been balling. So I mean, they have the team offensively. They got to put it together on the defensive side of the ball if they're going to win. If they want to win a championship, I like the Nets to win this game. 13.5 points is too many points. But I'm going with the under the 234 in this game. All right. Next game, we have the Utah Jazz at the Los Angeles Clippers. The Jazz are 1.5 point favorites at home. They're a minus 122 on the money line. The Clippers are plus 104 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 217.5. The Jazz are 45-30 on the season. They're on a 4-game losing streak. Bogdanovich is questionable for tonight's game. They're coming off a loss to the Mavs on Sunday. When the Jazz are hitting their shots, they're a tough team. They're hard to beat, but they've just not proven that they can do it down the stretch in the playoffs. I think they win this game. The Clippers are 36-39 on the season. They're on a five-game losing streak themselves. They are 5-22-1 ATS their last 28 home games, so they've not been good at covering the spread at home. The Jazz are the better team here because the Clippers are still missing Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I'm going with the Jazz here at the minus 122 on the money line. All right, I believe that's all the NBA games for tonight. So let's move over and let's take a look at some college basketball. You have the Final Four coming up this Saturday, as you have number 2 Villanova taking on number 1 Kansas, and number 8 North Carolina taking on number 2 Duke. Villanova and Kansas starts at 6:09 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, and then UNC and Duke follows that game at 8:49 p.m. Eastern time. Which sucks because I'm going to be flipping back and forth between WrestleMania. Actually, I'll just put Villanova probably on my other TV and while I'm watching WrestleMania. But anyway, Kansas is a 4.5 point favorite in this game. They're minus 200 on the money line. Villanova is plus 164 on the money line. Over-unders at 133. I like Kansas in this game. Kansas is playing their best basketball of the year at the right time. If you've watched college basketball this season, the last couple of weeks, Kansas has really turned it on, especially here in the NCAA tournament. They're playing their best ball of the season. Villanova is a good team. I just think Kansas is hot at the right time. I think Kansas is going to come out on top in this game. It's going to be a real competitive game. But right now, I'm leaning toward Kansas at the minus 4.5. We'll give out our official picks for these games on Friday's show. Then you have UNC at Duke. This is a game that I'm really intrigued about because this is the rubber match. Both these teams beat the other team at home. Blew North Carolina out, and then toward the end of the season, North Carolina went into Duke in Coach K's last game there at Cameron Indoor and put it on Duke. So North Carolina won the last time these teams met, but like I said, they're 1-1 against each other this year. Duke is a 4-point favorite in this game. Over and under is at 151. This is going to be a great game. I'd like to see North Carolina win, but I mean Duke is playing good ball and they're not folding under the pressure of this being Coach K's last year. So going into this tournament, I was afraid that's one of the things that was going to hurt them. Not only are they a young team, but everybody knows this is Coach K's last season. He's retired, and what's all the media been talking about? Oh, is Coach K going to go out on top? Is Coach K going to win another national championship in his last season? These kids let Coach K down by losing to North Carolina in his last home game. And all that. So I thought, maybe, hey, these are college kids. Maybe they're going to maybe not fold, but maybe they're going to tense up and let that pressure get to them. No, they've went the other way with it. They've took it and let it motivate them. They haven't looked like nervous or like they're under pressure at all. They're out there having fun and playing great basketball at the right time. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I'm taking North Carolina at the +4 as where I'm leaning toward right now. But Duke, North Carolina is going to be a hell of a game on Saturday night, and looking forward to it. All right, we do have a couple college basketball games tonight in the NIT tournament. You have St. Bonaventure at Xavier. This game's at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. St. Bonaventure is a 1.5-point favorite. They are -120 on the money line. Xavier is plus 100 on the money line. Over-under for this game is at 139.5. I like Xavier in this game on the money line at the even money. I just think, in my opinion, Xavier has the better offense, and they are a deeper team. St. Bonaventure relies on a balanced attack, and they don't have a whole lot coming off the bench. Most of their scoring is all done by their 5 starters, and in a pretty balanced way. It's not like they have one guy that usually scores like 20, 25 a night. They more have like 5 guys that all score between the 12 to 16 point range, and then one guy might go off that night, but they don't have a whole lot off the bench. And I think the difference in this game is going to be that Xavier's the deeper team. So I like Xavier in this game on the money line at even money. And then the other game tonight in NIT, you have Washington State at Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a 1.5-point favorite. They are -137 on the money line. Washington State is +114 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 122. Washington State is 22-14 on the season. They average scoring 74 points per game. They give up 64 points, or an average of 64 points per game, and they are 4-1 straight up their last 5 games. Texas A&M is 26-12. They average 73 points per game. They allow 62 points per game. They are also 4-1 straight up their last 5. This is going to be a good basketball game. Both these teams are good. Both these teams can put up points. I lean toward Washington State in this game. I think their defense is going to give Texas A&M a little bit more trouble than what A&M's defense is going to give them. I think it's going to be a real competitive game. It's going to be a fun game to watch, but I'm going with the underdog, Washington State, on the money line. All right. That's all of the college basketball games that we have tonight. Got a little bit of hockey, kind of preview it real quick. You have the New York Rangers at the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight at 7:00. The Penguins are -1.5 on the puck line, -172 money line. Over-under for this game is set at 5.5. I like the Pittsburgh Penguins here at home, and I'd also lean toward the over the 5.5 in this game. Next hockey game we have is the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Boston Bruins. The Bruins are -1.5 on the puck line, -154 money line. The Maple Leafs are +128 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 6.5. I like the Bruins on the money line. You have the Hurricanes at the Lightning. The Lightning are -1.5 on the puck line and -144 on the money line. Colorado Avalanche at the Calgary Flames. I actually like the Avalanche here as the underdog here against the Calgary Flames. All right, let's move over. Let's get to my picks of the day for today. We'll start with the NBA, my picks for today. Since we only have 5 NBA games on the slate, I'm gonna give a pick for each game. I like the Bucks money line over the 76ers. I like the Chicago Bulls money line over the Washington Wizards. I like the Lakers and Mavs under 219.5. I like the Detroit Pistons and Brooklyn Nets under 234. I like the Utah Jazz on the money line against the Los Angeles Clippers. And then in college basketball tonight in the NIT, I'm going with both underdogs. I like Xavier on the money line and Washington State on the money line. That's going to be my picks for today's games. So to recap, in NBA, Bucks money line, Bulls money line, Lakers Mavs under 219.5, Pistons Nets under 234, Jazz money line, Xavier money line, and Washington State money line. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Don't forget, time change starting tomorrow. Easy Money, a sports betting show, will be on at 3 p.m. Eastern. Still be on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. But it's also now going to be airing on the All Sports All Plays ASAP Sports Network. It'll be airing on their YouTube and their Facebook and Twitch and everything. So it's just more ways to be able to watch it. 3 p.m. start time, starting tomorrow, Wednesday, March 30th. Also, GSR Gonzo Sports Room, our sports talk show, is moving to 11 p.m. Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. So come join us tomorrow night, 11 p.m. Eastern. Still on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. Just moving times because of some different opportunities that have been coming up. Speaking of that, I want to thank everybody over at All Sports All Plays, the ASAP Sports Network, for bringing easy money over there to their network, and not just that, but having me on their network. I've been on the morning show. We'll be on this new afternoon show that called Afternoon Blitz. That'll also be starting tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time on the ASAP All Sports All Plays network. So make sure you come check that out as well. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we post everything about our shows, our daily picks for Easy Money, a sports betting show, to our interview announcements, to live stream of professional wrestling announcements, to just anything that goes on with the show gets posted on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Gonzo Sports Room. Also, don't forget to go check out GWR Gonzo Wrestling Room, our pro wrestling podcast. New episodes of it drop every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find it at Gonzo's Wrestling Room. You can also find the video version of it if you'd like to watch it on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. While you're over there on our YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. We'd appreciate it. Also, if you're watching this on Facebook and Twitch, hit the follow and the like buttons. We'd appreciate that as well. appreciate everybody joining us. Today's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. There's just not a whole lot of games. And but make sure you join us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, our new start time. But just to recap one more time, I like the Milwaukee Bucks money line tonight, the Chicago Bulls money line, the Dallas Mavericks, Los Angeles Lakers under 219.5, the Nets and Pistons over 234, the Utah Jazz money line, Xavier money line, and Washington State money line. Thanks for joining us. We will see you guys tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room, or on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or on ASAP Sports, All Sports, All Plays Network. We will see you guys tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, and again tomorrow night with GSR Gonzo Sports Room at 11. Hope everybody has a great day. Be safe. Peace.